Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a lovely day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, for your comments, and thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another, whether we want to or not, or whether we agree with each other or not. Today, the magic word is black. Throughout the African diaspora, black has a different connotation. I saw on a social media platform not long ago somebody responding to a video about black Americans calling themselves black. This person, who was from Africa, said people shouldn't be calling themselves black because black means ugly, evil, bad, criminal, all of the negative descriptors that you could come up with. She said that's what black meant to her. That's what black meant to her. I thought to myself, no wonder people from the African diaspora don't want to be called black, because they associate it with bad, with negative, with inferior, with evil, with criminality. And then they'll turn around and say, but the white people told you to call yourself black. Well, who associated black with bad and dark and evil and criminal? That's why the white man did that. What I'm saying is that black Americans did not accept that definition of blackness. Originally, we did. There was a time when we didn't want to be called black. We didn't want to be called African. We hated our hair, our features, our skin, until we realized this is a scam. This is all about putting you down to put themselves up. So while we were black and all of the negative things, what did they become? They became white and all of the positive things. Good, clean, pure, smart, superior, positive. Everything good is white, and everything bad is black. When you're around people long enough, you have an opportunity to study them. You begin to see their flaws and their weaknesses, and then you begin to see how they're imposing their flaws and their weaknesses on you. And that happened over 400 or 500 years with black Americans, which is why we don't take everything they say as gospel. We don't accept blackness as being something negative or bad or evil or criminal, because we know people to be negative and bad and evil and criminal, and they're not black. So because of our own genius, and I'm calling it genius, we have been able to transcend that definition of blackness. We see ourselves, we see each other, we see our accomplishments, we see the people that we love. We don't see bad, we don't see evil, we don't see criminal, we don't see misery. We see people that we love. So we do not see black or calling ourselves black as something negative. We see it as being positive. And I believe that that is where the misunderstanding is for people from the African diaspora who don't like to be called black. And that is not all of them. Some of them see themselves as black just like we do. But some of them rail against it. And I don't believe they're trying to be mean or hateful to black Americans. I think they think that we're misguided because they have accepted what the white man says. Now the tricky part comes in when white people decide when black is bad and ugly and when it's not bad and ugly. White people also came up with the idea of the little black dress. A Western woman's wardrobe is not complete unless she has a little black dress and a black evening dress. And what about shoes? Patent leather black heels, suede black heels, strappy black high heel sandals. These are required for the well-dressed woman. You may have any other color that you want, but the staple is the black heels. And what about the car? Black is the best-selling color car in the United States. The Queen, the King of England, rides around in an expensive black sedan or black carriage, or whatever they call them. So you see how they switch it around. When they're talking about people, black mean one thing, but it's when it's something they like, then it's something else. So black is superior in all things except when it comes to people. And let's just take one more look at black. White women with black hair are considered the beauties of the day. For instance, Ava Gardner, Elizabeth Taylor, Jackie Kennedy, and today Kim Kardashian. She's considered the beauty of the day. Regardless of what you think about her reputation, she is beautiful. So what has been used on black people around the world is a dose of child psychology. So black people in America just decided to transcend the child psychology that we've been fed. White people have gone all over the world changing things. They changed the names of all of the African countries, and some of the countries are reverting back to their original names, but most of them still have their European names. They drew the borders around Africa and decided who was who and who was where. And they divided you based on your tribes. People who have been getting along for hundreds of years were all of a sudden fighting each other. And even though you may have not seen the hand of the European, I guarantee you it was there. They're the ones that got you on the run while you're over here talking about us. They'll get the ones that making your countries unlivable, but you're talking about us. We've all been fed the child psychology, but each group has to decide how much of it they're going to ingest. So race might be a social construct, but they sure as hell are making it work for them. What I reject, and I think many black Americans agree with me, I reject anybody telling me when black is good because they say it's good and it's bad when they say it's bad. Were this little boy's parents supposed to tell him that he's ugly and that he's bad and evil because of the color of his skin when he's clearly beautiful and engaged, who might turn out to be a teacher, an inventor, a farmer, or a great leader? Was he supposed to be handicapped at birth because that's what somebody else has decided that you are? No, I reject that. And many black Americans reject that. We had to transcend emotionally and intellectually. We have had to transcend the stereotypes that were placed on us in order for us to survive and thrive. So that's all I wanted to say. Black Americans don't view being black as a negative. If other people want to see it as a negative, that's their prerogative. But we have decided that we are going to survive and thrive in this environment, and we're not going to be outplayed. Our foreparents went through unimaginable pain and suffering, but they stood the test. They stood the test, and they stood on their own faith and their own dignity, and we can do no less. Instead of running off to some other place, which may or may not be better than what we have here, most of us have decided we're going to deal with the devil we know. We've made it this far, we say, by the grace of God. We don't have to risk our lives to go to somebody else's country to have a decent quality of life. So the decisions that we have made relative to getting along with the people in our country, I think for the most part, have been wise. We have our problems, we have our issues, but we work on them to perfect the union. And what I would hope when black Americans go to other parts of the world, whether to visit or to live, that they will respect the culture or cultures of those people and not think it's their job to try to find something wrong with what they do, especially when they're at home. So I think that we're on the right track. Let everybody else do what they want to do, and I think we should just stick with what we think is best for us. but let me know what you think about this. Thank you for listening. Subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, share the video, and as always, have a great day.